Ladies and gentlemen, be strict with your habits, not because life is cruel, but because life is honest. It gives back exactly what we repeat every day. Dreams are not built in one night. They are built in quiet mornings, tired evenings, and small choices no one claps for. The truth is simple. What you do daily becomes who you are permanently. Your daily habits decide your future, not your dreams. Dreams are beautiful, they give hope, they give direction, but dreams alone do nothing. Everyone dreams. Everyone wants a better life, a stronger body, a calmer mind, a successful career. The difference is not in what people want. The difference is in what they repeat every single day. Life is shaped quietly, through routines that seem small and boring, but carry powerful results over time. We often fall in love with the picture of success, but ignore the process behind it. We imagine big moments, applause, freedom, happiness, yet we avoid the daily actions that build those moments. Waking up on time, staying consistent, choosing effort when comfort is available. These things don't look attractive, but they are the real builders of the future. What you do when no one is watching matters more than what you say you want. A habit is a vote you cast for the person you are becoming. When you repeat a habit, you are telling life who you are choosing to be. Skipping work, delaying effort, feeding distractions, these are also habits, and they also decide a future. Nothing is neutral. Every day either moves you forward or pulls you backward, even when it feels like nothing is happening. People often say they are waiting for the right time, the right mood, or the right opportunity, but habits don't wait. They work in the background, shaping your skills, your mindset, your confidence. While you wait, your habits are already deciding the outcome. A future is not created suddenly. It is revealed slowly, based on what you practice daily. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. Doing a little every day beats doing a lot once in a while. A small habit done with honesty grows stronger with time. Reading a few pages, training for a short time, learning one skill, saving a small amount. These actions feel insignificant today, but tomorrow they become the foundation you stand on. Your habits also shape how you see yourself. When you keep promises to yourself, even small ones, your confidence grows quietly. You start trusting yourself. When you break promises daily, you don't just lose time, you lose belief in your own word. The future listens closely to how you treat yourself today. Discipline is not about being hard, it is about being clear. Clear about what matters, clear about what needs to be done, clear about what you will no longer delay. Habits give structure to chaos. They turn confusion into direction. A person with strong habits does not need constant motivation, because action has already become part of their identity. Many people feel stuck not because they lack talent, but because their habits are working against them. Late nights, wasted focus, emotional decisions, these patterns silently block growth. Changing the future does not require changing everything at once. It requires changing one repeated action and protecting it daily. Your future self is watching you through your habits. Every choice is a message sent forward in time. The effort you make today becomes relief tomorrow. The excuses you allow today become regret later. Habits don't judge. They simply deliver results based on repetition. When life feels overwhelming, don't think about the whole future. Think about today's habits. 1 hour, one task, one action done properly. The future is built in pieces, and habits are the pieces that never disappear. What you repeat becomes permanent. What you practice becomes natural. What you live daily becomes your reality. Motivation fades, discipline stays. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are temporary. They rise when things feel exciting and disappear when things become heavy. One day you feel inspired, full of energy, ready to change your life, and the next day you feel tired, bored, or unsure. If your progress depends on how you feel, your growth will always be unstable. Discipline does not ask how you feel. It asks what needs to be done. It shows up on good days and bad days, on days when results are visible and days when nothing seems to work. Discipline is quiet, steady, and reliable. While motivation gives a push, discipline builds a path and keeps you walking on it. People often wait to feel motivated before starting. They wait for confidence, excitement, or the perfect mood. But action creates motivation, not the other way around. When you take action despite resistance, your mind slowly follows. Discipline trains the mind to obey direction instead of emotion. Motivation is emotional fuel, and like all fuel, it runs out. Discipline is a system. Systems do not depend on mood, they depend on structure. When you create a routine and follow it daily, you reduce the need for emotional energy. You don't argue with yourself, you simply do what is scheduled. Life is unpredictable. There will be stress, disappointment, tiredness, and pressure. Motivation disappears first during these moments. Discipline remains because it is not emotional, it is practiced. It is built through repetition until it becomes part of who you are. When discipline becomes identity, quitting feels unnatural. Discipline also protects you from excuses. The mind is clever at finding reasons to delay, to rest longer, to start tomorrow. Discipline sees excuses as noise. It doesn't fight them, it ignores them. It moves forward without needing approval from comfort. Many people admire successful individuals for their confidence or talent, but what they rarely see is discipline. Waking up on time, training when tired, working when bored, choosing long-term growth over short-term pleasure. These choices are not motivated choices, they are disciplined ones. Discipline creates freedom. This sounds strange, but it is true. When you control your habits, you control your time. When you control your time, you control your life. A disciplined person does not feel trapped, they feel directed. Chaos creates stress, structure creates calm. Motivation is loud, it makes promises. Discipline is quiet, it keeps them. Motivation says you will change everything today. Discipline says you will do one thing properly today and repeat it tomorrow. Over time, discipline wins because it is realistic and sustainable. There will be days when motivation is completely absent. Those days decide your future. When you still show up, even at half strength, you build trust with yourself. That trust becomes confidence. Confidence becomes momentum. Momentum comes from discipline, not excitement. Discipline is trained through small acts, making your bed, starting work on time, finishing what you start, keeping simple promises. These actions may seem small, but they build a strong inner order. A disciplined mind is harder to break during pressure. Motivation feels good, but discipline works. Motivation may start the journey, but discipline carries it forward. When life becomes heavy, discipline becomes your backbone. It holds you upright when emotions try to pull you down. Progress does not require feeling ready. It requires being committed. Being strict with habits is self-respect, not punishment. Many people misunderstand strictness and confuse it with cruelty. They think discipline means suffering, force, and denying all joy. In reality, strictness with habits is a form of care. It is the way you protect yourself from your own weaknesses. It is choosing what is good for you, even when something else feels easier in the moment. Self-respect is shown in the small choices you make when no one is watching. When you wake up on time, when you complete your work honestly, when you keep your routine even on low-energy days, you are telling yourself that your future matters. You are saying that your time, your energy, and your potential are valuable. That is not punishment, that is dignity. Punishment is doing something with anger and regret. Discipline is doing something with clarity. When you are strict with your habits, you are not fighting yourself, you are guiding yourself. Just like a caring parent sets boundaries to protect a child, discipline sets boundaries to protect your future. Freedom without boundaries leads to chaos, not happiness. Many people treat themselves carelessly. They break promises to themselves, waste their time, and then wonder why their confidence is low. Confidence is not built by positive words, it is built by reliable behavior. Each time you follow your habit, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. That trust slowly turns into inner strength. Being strict with habits also means knowing when to say no. No to distractions that steal focus, no to routines that drain energy, no to comfort that delays growth. Every no you say to what harms you is a yes to your self-respect. You are not missing out, you are choosing better. There is a difference between rest and escape. Self-respect allows rest when needed, but discipline prevents escape disguised as rest. When you are strict with habits, you rest intentionally and work intentionally. You do not let emotions decide your actions, you let values decide. People who avoid discipline often say they want to be kind to themselves. But real kindness is not giving yourself everything you want. It is giving yourself what you need. What you need is structure, direction, and consistency. A life without routine slowly collapses into regret. Strict habits remove unnecessary decision-making. You don't wake up and debate with yourself. You already know what comes next. This reduces mental fatigue and increases peace. A structured life feels lighter because your mind is not constantly fighting itself. Self-respect grows when you stop negotiating with your weaknesses. Weakness does not disappear by being ignored. It is managed through habits. When you repeat the right actions daily, your discipline becomes stronger than your impulses. Being strict does not mean being perfect. It means being committed. It means returning to your habits even after you fall. Self-respect is not destroyed by mistakes, it is destroyed by excuses. When you fall and stand up again, discipline becomes deeper. People will not always understand your boundaries. They may call you boring, too serious, or too rigid, but they do not live with your consequences. You do. Self-respect is choosing your long-term peace over short-term approval. The more you respect yourself, the less you tolerate chaos in your life. You become selective with time, energy, and people. Habits become your standards. Standards become your identity. Identity shapes your destiny. Being strict with habits is not about controlling life. It is about honoring the life you have been given. Small actions repeated daily create massive change. Most people underestimate small actions because they look insignificant in the moment. They feel too easy, too slow, too ordinary. But life is not changed by dramatic moves made once. It is changed by quiet actions done again and again. What feels small today becomes powerful when it is repeated with consistency. Big change often scares people, so they delay starting. Small actions remove fear. Anyone can take one step. Anyone can give 10 minutes, write one page, walk for a short time, learn one idea. These actions do not demand courage, they demand honesty. They ask only one thing, to be repeated tomorrow. Repetition is what gives actions their strength. One workout does not change a body, one good decision does not change a life. But repeated effort reshapes the mind, the habits, and the identity. Over time, small actions stop feeling small. They become automatic, natural, and part of who you are. The mind resists change, but it accepts patterns. When you introduce small actions, the mind does not feel threatened. There is no internal battle. Slowly, the resistance fades and discipline grows. This is how transformation happens without burnout. People often wait for visible results to stay consistent, but small actions work invisibly at first. Like roots growing under the soil, progress happens where you cannot see it. This is where most people quit. They stop because they don't see change, not realizing that change is already forming. Small actions build confidence quietly. Every time you complete a simple task, you send a message to yourself that you are capable. That message, repeated daily, becomes belief. Belief changes behavior. Behavior changes outcomes. Massive change is not created by pressure. It is created by patience. Small actions remove pressure. They allow you to move forward without overwhelming yourself. They turn discipline into something sustainable, not exhausting. Your environment also changes through small actions. A clean space, a fixed routine, a daily plan. These things seem minor, but they create order. Order reduces stress. Reduced stress improves focus. Focus multiplies results. Small actions protect you during hard times. When life becomes heavy, you may not have energy for big effort, but you can still show up for small tasks. These tasks keep momentum alive. Momentum is what prevents collapse. People admire overnight success, but overnight success is built on years of unnoticed repetition. The world sees the final result, not the thousands of small steps taken quietly. Those steps are the real story. Small actions also teach patience. You learn to trust the process instead of chasing quick rewards. You learn that progress does not need noise, it needs commitment. When you repeat small actions, they start shaping your identity. You stop saying you are trying and start saying this is who you are. Identity-based habits are powerful because they do not rely on effort. They rely on alignment. A single small action may not change today, but it changes tomorrow. Tomorrow changes the next day. Over time, days become years and years become a life. Massive change is not sudden, it is accumulated. What you repeat becomes permanent. What you practice becomes powerful. What you do daily decides who you become. Control your routine and you control your life. Most chaos in life does not come from bad luck. It comes from unstructured days. When your day has no direction, your energy is wasted, your focus is scattered, and your decisions become emotional. A routine is not a cage, it is a map. It tells your mind where to go instead of letting it